Hi, Delighted NP here, and I wanted to come with you this week to talk about some big news in women's health. Those of you afflicted have probably heard about it already, and those who haven't, let's share some news here. And for those who do, I hope that I help you understand this condition a little better. So it's all over the news, it's everywhere. PCOS, formerly polycystic ovarian syndrome, has now been renamed PMOS, and so it's a polyendocrine metabolic ovarian syndrome. And as a women's health provider, I am so excited and so happy about this. I think that it's going to help improve access to care for women and help other caregivers and providers and women's health people, caregivers, to just help to serve women better. Not only that, to start involving other specialties into taking care of this condition. Most of the time, people with PCOS or women who are suffering from this condition suffer silently, or they talk to their doctors about it, or other healthcare providers, or even family and friends, and you kind of hear just lose weight, just take care of your skin, just eat well. And we finally, science has caught up, and the medical community has caught up, where we are understanding this more, and in understanding it more and putting it that it's just not a women's issue. It's not just a issue of the women's organs, but it's a full systemic issue. And so with that being said, we are going to be able to get more people involved in caring for women. So polycystic ovarian syndrome, what was, or PMOS now, is a condition where women, it's not a disease per se, a syndrome. And so a condition where women do have a pre-genetic disposition to this. So most of the time, this is a genetic condition. In rare cases, it develops from lifestyle, but most of the time we know that there's a strong multifactorial, like a multi-factor reason why women suffer from PCOS. And generally we see it kind of coming in kind of that pre-puberty, puberty, and then from there on, women just struggle throughout their lifetime, sometimes all the way up into menopause with this condition. It causes a lot of issues. First of all, it becomes where you just acne is a changes in skin color around the neck, the arm, the abdominal area, sometimes abnormal hair growth, so growing hair on your chin, or excessive hair along here, or in the hairline, that makes it just kind of that male pattern hair growth that comes from increased testosterone. The other thing about it is people gain weight, right? Like you just started gaining weight that's not proportional to the food you're eating or the lifestyle you have. And then when you try to gain weight, lose weight. It is just so difficult. Like you're just not lose. It's just in an inability to lose weight. Science has showed us that PCOS, for people who are predisposed to it, starts happening with about a 10% weight gain. So no matter what that is, whether you're 500 pounds, it's 50 pounds, and for some women 200 pounds, and it'll be 20 pounds, or 100 pounds and it'll be 10 pounds, and you'll see this condition come through. However, it doesn't happen to anybody, right? So you can have people gain a lot of weight and there's no changes in their menstrual cycle. There's no changes in their A1C or diabetes check, no elevations in glucose. But some people, like, they could be 100 pounds and a 10-pound weight gain will cause that for them. So now we understand, and we are finally back from focusing just on women's organs and making this a hormonal problem, and understanding that it has to do with an insulin resistance problem. It does have a diet and lifestyle component to it, but because there's a genetic component, it kind of cycles out. So most of the time when I'm seeing women, I'm seeing them because their cycles have changed. They have periods where they have no cycles for months, so amenorrhea or anal ovulation, they don't make an egg, and then all of a sudden they have this cycle where there's just this cleaning of that uterine wall lining, and they have big heavy cycles that last for a while, and then they go into this pattern back and forth, and sometimes people can go years without a cycle, and then big cycles in between. The other problem with it is fertility. Women with PCOS, because they don't ovulate regularly, tend to have issues with getting pregnant. And then the other part of that is women who are not ready for pregnancy tend to get pregnant without knowing, because there's not a regular ovulation. So for decades we have treated PCOS just with as a hormonal problem, and treated people with they're sent over to us and we put them on birth control pills, which becomes a problem, right, if you're trying to have children. But birth control pills tend to regulate the hormonal part of it, and prevents women from building up this tick lining and having these irregular and heavy periods. So that takes care of lifestyle stuff and keeping you hormonally balanced, but that does not take care of people who are struggling with infertility. So with infertility, the idea is to fix the underlying problem, right? Get this condition fixed, and then we get people able to have children. So in order not to keep this video too long, I am going to talk today about the health, the lifestyle part of it. The other thing, traditionally we have treated PCOS or PMOS now with metformin. We know there's an insulin resistance problem, and metformin tends to regulate the glucose levels, and so helps with precipitating weight loss, along with a diet that looks like a diabetic style diet. However, more recently we have the GLP-1s, and those are really helpful. Like, it's so effective for people with PCOS, just because it works better than metformin. Same thing, decreasing that insulin resistance, and it has helped a lot with women who struggle with PCOS getting pregnant. The problem is the insurance companies haven't caught up yet, and like I mentioned in previous videos, they are not paying for it yet for this condition. I hope we'll get there, but in the meantime, compounding GLP-1s are affordable for most people, and they are using it successfully for menstrual regulation, to capture fertility, and to maintain just a overall healthy lifestyle, right? Because once you start decreasing that insulin resistance, get those hormones back in balance, testosterone levels, the acne gets better, skin condition gets better, people lose weight and feel better. People who have unmanaged PCOS tend to become diabetic later in life. And if you struggle with PCOS, if that's a syndrome that you struggle with, you are likely to become diabetic later without control. So good to get that controlled right at the beginning. So I just want to say, to recap, if you're someone out there struggling with PMOS, your general practitioner can start now getting involved in your care. And so I want to just ask you to advocate for yourself, educate yourself about what's going on with your body, that you don't take any more, go diet and lose weight. No, it's not acceptable. This condition is more than that, and our new acronym accounts for more than that. So ensure that you are getting medications that are helping you to manage your glucose levels, and then you adapt lifestyle, exercise, and a diet like a diabetic person to help you regulate your glucose levels. And the other thing is also, if you are not trying to get pregnant, get help with get some hormones on board to regulate that. I am sorry for you to say that you are going to avoid hormones and try to manage PCOS until you get that 10% of your weight off. It's not going to happen. So take your hormones, get the weight off, and like I said, just 10% of what your body weight is, that you generally brings you back to hormonal regulation. If you are a person struggling with PCOS and infertility, adapt those lifestyle changes first. Try for that 10% off, and if that is not enough to get you ovulating every month and getting pregnant, then please see a specialist. And that can be a women's specialist, like health specialist like myself, or a fertility specialist, either one. But anyway, I just wanted to come and share this exciting news with you all. I am so grateful for us women. Research in our area and advancing care in our area moves so slowly, but this one is big. This is going to get more of us as healthcare providers, more of us as women talking about this syndrome and helping each other along with it, and getting our healthcare providers to listen a little bit more. So with that, I just want to tell you, have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I appreciate each of you listening, sharing. Let's help each other. And so share this video with someone you know that's struggling with PMOS, and get the information. And let's be women who lift up women, and let's be men who help women get a better quality of lives. Because when women have a great quality of life, when we are healthy, the whole family is healthy. All right, bye y'all. Have a great week.